And to wrap up the meeting, we have to say farewell to, no we don't, we have to, there's a little bit here more to go before we just wave goodbye to Jules. We have a few plaques and proclamations to go here. First is one that I'm going to do, and this is some pictures of Jules. Jules, this is...
That couldn't be Jules.
1992, our swearing in, and both of us had hair. I'll pass this around here, and then Jules, you can keep that. I have a plaque first, and this says to our buddy Jules, doesn't quite say our buddy Jules, in grateful appreciation for your years of dedicated service and steadfast devotion to the ideals of local government and unwavering allegiance to the Constitution and the Upper Dublin community as Township Commissioner, 1992 to 2011. Jules, yeah. And our next presenter, Tom Mert, I think you have a few words to say. Our state rep from part of the township he represents.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just by way of reminder, I represent part of Commissioner Durr's ward, Commissioner Ropsky, and Commissioner Feldman's ward. I have a citation that is from the House of Representatives, that is from myself, Representative Shapiro, Representative Gerber, and also Representative Todd Stevens. And I'd like to read part of it before I do. I was thinking about the first time I met Jules, and I think it was 1994 or 95. We had to give a presentation down at the Kerbis Arboretum regarding the open space plan of our respective townships, and that was the first time I think I ever met Jules. But even at the time, I could tell that he certainly had a passion for government, but certainly not, well, maybe politics, but certainly public service. And at the time, I could really sense his passion and his honesty, and certainly his dedication to this community and to the people who live here. And I also want to say that I forget the what election it was, Jules, but I've mentioned this to you before, but I got a hold of one of his campaign flyers, and I forget the year, but I remember the slogan at the top said, "A different kind of politician," and I always remember that. The other part of that brochure that I remember is that he used that font Comic Sans MS, and nobody uses that. In a political sense, nobody uses it, not on flyers, but I thought it was great because it's easy to read. Everybody could read it, and I've used that many times in my own campaigns. And the flyer was a little, it wasn't misleading, but it certainly, I think, depicted you, Jules, is that you certainly are a public servant. I've never thought of you as anything but a public servant, not a politician, and that's something that I think many of us as elected officials get wrapped together and called politicians and or suffer slings and arrows, and that has never been a characteristic of you, Jules. And I just wanted to mention that. I still have that flyer if you ever want it back. I would like to read the citation here, and the citation is signed by myself and the other representatives that I mentioned. Whereas the House of Representatives of Pennsylvania is always proud to acknowledge those individuals who, through professional excellence, bring great credit to themselves and this Commonwealth. And whereas Jules J. Mermelstein is being honored upon his retirement as Commissioner of Upper Dublin Township after more than 18 years of dedicated public service. And whereas a resident of Upper Dublin Township for 50 years, Mr. Mermelstein began his service as a Commissioner of the Township in 1992. In addition, he served as Vice President from 2006 to 2007 and as President from 2008 to 2009. He further was involved with numerous committees, including those dealing with land planning, parks and recreation, and the library. To his great credit, Mr. Mermelstein was instrumental in developing the Drescher Overlay Ordinance and updating zoning in the Office Park. He also served as President of the Eastern Association of Township Commissioners and the Montgomery County Association of Township Commissioners. Throughout his tenure, he has demonstrated remarkable knowledge, ability, and integrity in carrying out his many responsibilities, thus earning the respect and gratitude of all those who receive the benefit of his tireless devotion to duty. And this citation is sponsored by myself, Josh Shapiro, Mike Gerber, and Todd Stevens. Jules, congratulations.
Thanks, Tom. Now I'd like to introduce our good friend, State Senator Stuart Greenleaf. He has a few words also. And I want to thank you, Senator, for all the hard work that you and your office has done on the H2O grant application. That's been going on, and we were talking about that earlier, and yeah. I want to thank you publicly again.
Well, it's a pleasure to work with the township on a number of projects like that, and that's what brings me here this evening, and that is that I guess almost from the beginning of your tenure, the drainage project, the drainage project Jules and I worked on, and I think of him as I was thinking about how I think of Jules, and I think of him as a co-worker in government, and that's what the people of Upper Dublin Township and Montgomery County and the state and this nation looks for. Someone who will work together regardless of party registration and get the job done. Now, it may take us 19 years to get the job done. In fact, my chief of staff was here one evening, and they were talking about this, and it was a large crowd, and they said, well, how long do you think it'll take? And I think she said it was like maybe 5 years, and they didn't like that at all, but little did we know it would take probably a lot more than that to get it done. But for Jules' perseverance and bringing the issue to my attention and working together and keeping my eye on the ball, I might have get distracted on other things, but he never did. And then finally, I guess it was just this last summer we had the groundbreaking and start that process. But it was for his perseverance and dedication to serve his constituency that project did get done. You know, we're not good, but we're persistent. So, and that's something that we both have in common in our personalities, and so we don't give up. And that is a great tribute to him. It's only one of many things. I won't read the Senate citation that I have about the things that he's been involved in, the things that he's benefited the people of this township. But that's just one of them. And I've enjoyed my relationship with him, personal, and also my work relationship with him. He's a real pleasure and a gentleman and a true public servant, and it's my pleasure to be here this evening and to say those words. I wanted to be here to say those words about him. He's a really special person, and Upper Dublin is much better for him. So congratulations, Jules. I have a Senate citation congratulating you on your retirement, your accomplishments, and I wish you well.
And next, I think, Paul, you want to...
Jules, all the department heads are represented here tonight. They're in the back, and it's my privilege on their behalf as well as my own to say thank you. Your support for the township staff, every single one of us, and that includes every employee that works on the street tonight or tomorrow or the past 19 years, has been very, very much appreciated. I know that there's been times when there were some tough decisions to make, and you made those. When we look back at your tenure, we know that we're not going to find anyone that serves the one role that I would point out in the administrative or the management side, and certainly has been something of the conscience of the Board of Commissioners. And I say that in the constitutional sense. I can say this, is that whenever I talk to Jules, whether it's getting ready for a meeting or during a meeting, I have the sense that he's always 3 or 4 moves ahead of me. He probably is. And those moves are usually based upon his grounding in civics. and now you're a civics teacher, you're an attorney, and I know that you're a lover of the U.S. Constitution. You've invoked it here many times. And you have a copy, which probably says I should speed it up. But we really appreciate it. I take some pride in having, I think, given you both of the two of the three quotes that you use on your emails. Jules, in 1996, had a rational period where he sent emails on everything. Absolutely everything, and he kind of got out of that. But now he sends emails on just township topics. But he includes in the prefabbed closing and signature 2 quotes, and I just think I'd take a minute to read them. There's a new one that was added recently. It says, "Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad." And I appreciate that. The other, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it means in my life. The next 2 are ones I think that I gave you and that you picked up on, and they're ones that I like because they reminded me of you. And I'll take a minute to read it. One is from Henry David Thoreau. "If a man walks in the woods for love of them half of each day, he is in danger of being regarded as a loafer. But if he spends his days as a speculator, shearing off those woods and making the earth bald before her time, he is deemed an industrious and enterprising citizen." Jules, your work on the planning committees and in the role of reviewing subdivisions has been undying in terms of landscaping, of stormwater management, of making sure that we leave Upper Dublin a better place as we've gone through the onslaught of development that occurred during your tenure. Thank you. The next quote is from Thomas Jefferson. And it was he made it, we believe, and I actually researched this one from Monticello on July 12, 1816. "A perfect republic can materialize only in a small jurisdiction such as a township. They have proven themselves to be the wisest inventor ever devised by the wit of men for the perfect exercise of self-government and for its preservation." We're glad that you've served this township in that noble goal. Thank you on behalf of all the department heads and myself.
And there's a retirement chair for Jules over there. He can...
We can bring that out. It's not a rocker, Jules, but it's close.
No, you don't want to rock.
This is a chair that has the township steel burned into it, as well as, Jules, your title and tenure. Enjoy it, and good reading.